down there that morning, the morning after, on Monday morning. Eric had gone down the night before, and I got there around 7:30. Already you could tell what was going on. I immediately went to the Memorial Hall, where it was kind of like the triage emergency room at that point. There were people being treated for injuries that they suffered from then. They had already taken out dead bodies. People were very emotional.
I arrived on the scene several hours after the initial report. The tornado, as we later came to find out, had cut this scar, this swath through the center of the city. It was dark, it was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. So the first place we went was to a place where we could find the wounded. And as soon as I'd gotten to Memorial Hall, you realized the depth and somewhat of the breadth of this horror.
It was very different than the storms that I've covered before. This is the fourth town that I've covered that's been hit or destroyed by a tornado. And immediately you could sense the difference here. The determination on the people's faces, never why me, never talking about what they've lost, but what they want to try to regain.
You don't really get the sense of how much was just completely destroyed. Unidentifiable material. There's wires and wood and shards of clothes, and nothing looks like what it used to look like. Nothing looks whole. Incomprehensible amount of destruction. As far as the eye can see, people are walking on top of that destruction, looking for loved ones in some cases, neighbors still in some cases, people who are either injured or whether or not they're even alive, picking through their cherished belongings.
Anytime after a storm, people come together, especially in the Ozarks, especially in the Midwest. This truly was different than what I've seen in other towns. It was everybody. I mean, that next morning, there were people from Arkansas, western Kansas, people coming in saying whatever we can do to help. And there is a different feel to people down there. There is this, as we put in the book, there's this grit and determination. They didn't ask whether they would rebuild, it was when, and when can I get started, and how can I do it.
It's going to sound odd, but the humor and the goodwill of people as they stood in the middle of what used to be their homes, and often they weren't in tears. Often they would joke about, well, at least we have our health, and at least we have our materials, and we're all safe, and look, the car's just flipped over the house and sitting in a tree, and wow, I'm glad I paid the insurance on that.
The name of the book is Joplin 541. It includes many of the photos and stories that the Kansas City Star did to document the storm in Joplin on May 22nd, 2011.